My incessant nagging almost helped. Almost. We're only 3 minutes late today.
It's not bad at all.
Nagging is the key to getting things done.
You just wanted to make it difficult on yourself, Brick? You wanted to try it from somewhere that you don't normally record?
Exactly. It's not because I'm watching 4 Dogs over the weekend. It's only because to make your life a little more difficult.
Which one of you is the alpha?
You're the dog guy this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been using my dog voice, and it's been working spectacularly.
Is that like an assertive dog voice, or is it like you like talk like Scooby-Doo?
No, I don't talk like Scooby-Doo. I definitely do the big, deep. You do go deeper and you just go louder, and then all dogs just kind of quiver.
Yeah.
Don't
do you have 4 leashes, or do you have one? Did you buy one leash with like 4 extensions? Did you go all out for this weekend?
I'm not a dog watcher for money, so I didn't invest any money in a 4-dog leash.
He wears them
the
front-facing thing, and he keeps one in his purse.
Yeah. Exactly. Khaleesi's in my purse. Actually, I got the one leash that wraps around your waist, so you can have your hands free, and all 4 dogs pulling in all different directions. So I'm just like,
is that just so you can continue watching TikTok videos while you start your new career as a fucking dog walker?
As a dog walker, yeah. Imagine being a dog walker with that stupid waist leash. I see people with those, and I'm just like, that's fine, I guess. But
Brick, how addicting is TikTok? I was literally going through TikTok for like 2 hours the other day, and I had to snap out of it because I just felt like a piece of shit.
You can get lost in an absolute rabbit hole of just like funny videos and interesting, dude, conspiracy theories out the ass. Everybody has a Marvel theory. Everybody has. I send all my Harry Potter TikToks to Erica. She always loves them. Then it's just like there's always something to see on that freaking app. It's way better than Instagram.
Okay, sure. I don't like Instagram really either. I was watching a video. It was at the top of Reddit this morning, and it's one of those TikTok houses like in LA where all they do
my God, the worst.
30 people live there, and all they do is dance. And I don't fucking get it. I thought he was gonna. He was gonna cough it to me, and he just turned his mic off and coughed. Thank you for turning your mic off. I appreciate that.
I think that's like only if you like that dancing. Like TikTok's not all just fucking teenage girls doing dumbass dances. Like some of them are like really well produced TikToks where they're just funny as fuck. And when you start the app, you can basically say, all right, I'm into movies, I'm into this, that. And it has good algorithm to where it like strictly will stay the course of like what you're interested in. So that's why I'm like always scrolling through it, because they're all shit that interests me and are just hilarious to me.
And I say like I've never seen a good TikTok video. Like that's blatantly false. I've seen a lot of really good ones, but I just can't fathom having to filter through all these teenage dancing videos. By the way, if you do one of those that's not in a TikTok video, like if you ever walked past someone who was trying to do a TikTok dance, it looks so fucking stupid.
It's so cringe.
It's very cringy, and it's really not even good dancing. You're just kind of like moving your hands in circles and stuff. I don't get it.
TikTok. Yeah, I don't get any dancing videos on my timeline because I think I'm too used to just people either ranting, and then I get the Marvel theories, and then I get like this one guy named what's his name, Don Soap or something. He just like does these fake he does fake like recollections of like people back in the NBA back in my day. Don Soap or like the worst. It's like it's Don Shampoo, worst name ever, and he just like goes into these details, and it's actually funny. But some of the transitions that people have in that are actually like mind-boggling too. You're just like, what the hell? It's very well done. Some of those are crazy.
So I worry about this, so I'll just say it and assume that other people do as well. These social media companies are getting better and better at making this shit super addictive. And Mark, you are like case in point of this. it's scary. Like at one point, is it just going to be nobody leaves the house anymore? And I know I sound like a baby boomer now, but they keep getting better.
They do. They have to keep people engaged, and they keep changing filters, which allow people to make new creative videos. And then, like they just saw, they made a Disney animated version of yourself, and so like people are just making all these different Disney intros to like, if you're a Disney character, this is how they get up in the morning, and like just weird things that kind of are funny, and just like because they have these filters and stuff that they can use, it's just kind of crazy. Creatively, people are just going off the charts.
That's going to be an early recommendation for me is, do you guys still have Snapchat? Because I don't, but there is a filter now that's called cartoon, and it will make you look like a Pixar character. And that's what's all over TikTok. I don't think TikTok has that filter yet, but people are going on Snapchat, recording a video with this filter and then posting it to TikTok. But it's pretty legit. Like for
it is very legit.
You do a selfie of yourself, you're like, wow, it's pretty good.
So I still have Snapchat, don't use it, but if people send me a Snapchat, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll look at it. But it's all about TikTok. Instagram's dead. I posted a couple of Knockout City clips to Games Dean just because I've been fucking shredding on that game. Feels good to humiliate kids again.
I thought you were going somewhere with that. You're just like, no, fuck kids.
Yeah, no.
Are you gonna?
There's games where like you're playing, like Call of Duty, I'm playing and I have like spurts where I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. I just palmed that kid or whatever. But then there's like those sweatiest of sweats just like coming in and just like 360 no scoping you. And you're just like, all right, this isn't even fun, dude. Fucking not trying to play this. But like KO City, I feel like I am in that upper echelon of people that are playing right now and just like humiliating people with the way I'm kind of running around and jumping over people and passing, and it's just actually really good teamwork. That game is my recommendation. Again, probably. So good.
I still play Warzone. Brick, are you gonna jump back on for season 4? Because season 4 I think is coming out soon. Which means I think we're getting a new Warzone map, which is like what we've been waiting for the last 4 years.
No, I'm not jumping back in. It's like one of those games where you step out after a week of not playing and then you get shredded and you're just like, I'm just not coming back to this game.
What is in recent memory, what is the longest that you've consistently played a multiplayer game for? Because I feel like you are king of downloading games and playing them and getting really into them and then just dropping them after a couple of months. Like I'm still playing Warzone and it's been two and a half years now.
So that's where it depends on who I am playing with.
Like Battlefield, I remember you were so into that Battlefield game we used to always play online. And then I'm not going to say it was your fault, but all of a sudden it just like fell off. People stopped playing. And I used to play with you and I'm just like, I don't know.
That was because the servers kind of got fucked on Battlefield 1. And then people kept going to other games. Other games came out and some people were playing that. So the game kind of just died naturally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, that game was the shit. Still probably one of my favorite games of all time.
PUBG's making its way back too.
Yeah, people still play PUBG. I see Wubby playing PUBG and Dare Leak.
Now there's like a racing version in it, like the cars that you would find and just to get across the map. There's some kind of racing game in there now.
Oh yeah, no, they have like death races and shit that I saw online that look pretty funny. Yeah, no, it's just I like sometimes games just have like a resurgence for like a couple of weeks. Like I played Battlefront 2 back when it released for free on PC, like probably a couple months back, and I like jumped back in and I was like, oh yeah, it is dope to be a Jedi. Sick. I'll play this for a little bit. Got a couple people to play with me, and then it's like you're kind of rolling. Same thing with Civ 6. Sometimes you play and all of a sudden you have like this great civilization. You're like, oh yeah, now I am kind of crack addicted to this game, and I will play another one with my boy Whhhhaats or Terry Greenbeans or whatever I'm playing with. So
that's such a steep learning curve to get into Civ, though. I remember trying. Granted, I was probably hammered, but you were trying to teach me. But I was just like, I'm not going to be able to dedicate the time I need to this to understand it fully and be any good at it. So fuck this.
Once you have to play a game through its entirety to kind of see the scope of everything and then how everything kind of plays together, and then you can start developing a strategy. But you were blacked out. we were playing, and I was like, yeah, if you just settle there, you'll have a good spot, blah, 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 explaining stuff, and you're just like, moved it. And you moved it somewhere else. I was like, not, or you can do that too, I guess, but I mean, not take my advice or not. I mean, up to you.
Well, you always talk about like your basically your career path in a given FPS game, and it's like, you know, the normal person starts mid-level, you're a little bit higher than that, and they continue to get better, and you just stay the same, and eventually everybody passes you up. So where are you in that curve right now? Like, are you still running into people that you just mow down, or is somebody coming in and whooping your ass?
So it really depends on who you're playing with. In terms of, we're talking about Knockout City, I'm guessing, not Civ, right?
Yeah, I want to know where in the life cycle of this game you are.
Yeah, no, I am still King Crop right now, just kind of shredding kids. There are a couple people that we like get in a group with, and like that kid is sweaty as fuck. Like, he catches every single dodgeball that you throw at him, and you get better from playing those kids. But like, I am still, I would say, I'm at the peak there, and people are still kind of catching up, and they will surpass me eventually after I take a week off. And I'm just like, actually, this game sucks, but haven't taken a week off yet.
I really just
like
love
that theme park game you just gave up on.
Yeah.
Well, that was
after he convinced everybody to drop $60 on it. He's like, fuck this game.
You probably were spending like 6 hours a day on that game. I feel like you were invested.
It's a single player game, so you didn't waste your money if you're still playing the game, because
just wasting your time.
People are still, but after you see, like, I made that giant ass park. Peanut Butter Jelly Jams is still in the chat. She's still ripping it. But I made that giant ass park, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty sick. I want to like figure out how to connect all this stuff. And then everything got, I realized after like looking at a couple of tutorial videos that I was like, this park is going to fail brutally. So I looked at a video of somebody else, like literally the next video after that was, here's a park that somebody submitted, and it took them like fucking forever, 10 actual physical days to make this park in such great detail. And I was like, that would take forever. I just like, no, thank you.
Is it like,
that's the kind of detail I wanted to have, and that's the kind of detail I couldn't ever possibly make.
Coward,
like
coward shit.
Is it like a Gigipet? Is it like a Gigipet or Gigipet? You remember those little things you'd have on your keychain where you? Yeah, there you go. Is it like one of those where if you reopen the game like in a couple of months and you forgot you left all the kids on top of the roller coaster, they just be like shriveled, dead, just humans.
Yeah, I didn't have any roller coaster.
Yeah, like, oh, no. I gotta clean this up.
Yeah, no, it just pause. You can just pause time. See,
okay. Time doesn't keep still advancing.
Yeah, Elise is still ripping. She's playing it today. I probably would still play it if Knockout City wasn't available, because Knockout City is actually fun. It's competitive. You guys should play it.
I'm trying to get you to shut up about Knockout City.
Do you guys have the Game Pass, right?
I do, but my gaming, my racing chair showed up. There's no way I'm going to start playing something different now. I'm fully engrossed.
So you're playing what, Forza now?
Until Horizon 5 comes out, I'm in Horizon 4.
How long? I mean, what do you do in Horizon? Just drive in a circle like fucking NASCAR?
There's like a story mode. No, it's like road racing, like street. It's kind of like when we were playing Need for Speed. Yeah, but
that game would be fun, or that driving rig you have would be fun for Need for Speed. Definitely.
Everything about it is fun. I just love it. I haven't bought the shifter yet, but I'm a big fan. So, trailers. Anyways, let's do some news. Actually, you know what? Rick, I keep going with video games. What'd you see from E3 that you liked?
Let's see. First of all, let me just note Az in the chat here. Az downloaded Knockout City, and I'll rip with you if you drop your little epic tag in there. We can join up and kind of squab some kids. But from
welcome to Knockout City podcast.
Yeah, E3. They dropped some new Halo stuff. I was pretty pumped about that. Everybody should be, because Halo's the shit. Hopefully that actually comes back to fruition like it used to. Good arena shooter. The Starfield was one of the games that kind of poked out at me. So it's the creators of Fallout, but this time, rather than a nuclear fallout, they are on a different planet. So it's like basically futuristic Fallout, but in space. So they're not doing, it's not a nuclear fallout. It's just like space exploration, but they're going to have all that great detail and, character building and good RPG game. So it looks good from that perspective. Did you see anything about that?
This year, it's something very similar to that. It was an RPG.
Outer Worlds, I think you might be thinking.
Yeah, Outer Worlds. They announced a sequel to. That sounds exactly the same.
Right. I don't think that was the same creator though.
Okay.
Because Outer Worlds, the game was. I'm trying to think of who actually developed that one. That was Obsidian. That was Obsidian. And I believe Bethesda is the one who's doing Starfield. But yeah, it's a similar concept. They're both RPGs. The difference is Bethesda is notoriously great at making those RPGs and just incredible giant landscapes and just like great side stories and great main stories. Great evolution of character too. So that one really peaked out at me. There was one more that I noticed. Oh, Advanced Wars. Do you know anything about Advanced Wars?
I've never played it, but I watched the trailer and I heard you and Wub talk about it. I would 100% play that game.
Turn-based strategy game that each individual leader that you have has their own specific like strengths and weaknesses. One guy's really good at long-range attacks. Another guy's good at tanks. Another guy's good at like infantry and capturing buildings. Fog of War is also a thing where it's like you can see as far, some units can see farther than others. Some people can't see in trees or past mountains and stuff like that. And so the first time I was introduced to that game hasn't come out for 10 years. And it was a GameCube game, I guess. No, it wasn't a GameCube game. It was a Game Boy Advance game.
10 years ago, yeah.
It was like Game Boy Advance game. And we would have the GameCube adapter, me, Wilpo, Mr. Simon, and Malat. We'd have a game where we'd all play this game together. There'd be 4 factions. And the game takes kind of like 3 or 4 hours to actually finish to completion. But
I love that stuff. That and Civ.
Strategy game.
Something.
It's a strategy. It's basically like aggressive chess is what it is. It's like a 4-player chess game with all these different pieces that have these different strengths and weaknesses. Super fun. That would be something that I would recommend checking out. The single player campaign in that game actually like it's deep and it like makes you think and makes you like go beyond your strategies to like really like the game like evolves as you play through this single player campaign and you just kind of see all these different strategies unfolding. So it's really well done. And they made new graphics. So that would be something that I would keep a freaking eye on, y'all.
Mark's falling asleep. You don't care about strategy games, do you?
Not strategy games. I'm just kind of blown away you're not mentioning like Elden Ring, because it's been years since we've seen any type of footage for this game. Like we were teased the concept and we really haven't seen anything. And then when this shit dropped, I'm like, dude, this is Lord of the Rings meets Game of Thrones. Like it looked fucking amazing.
I didn't see that trailer.
You didn't see Elden Ring trailer? What?
I'm so used to being let down by shit I see at E3 that like a trailer that far out, I'm not going to put any stock in it.
Agreed. And
yeah, this one doesn't have a detailed release date, but it's supposed to come out in 2022. So fairly soon. That's even worse because the further out it is from actually happening, the less confident I am in a studio to like put finishing touches on it that don't suck. So
right.
And
a lot of it's hype.
Go ahead.
So John's talking about Metroid Dread. I'm not a huge Metroid player, but if this has good reviews, I'll definitely play that. I'm always looking for something I can play on Switch that, well, when my wife isn't playing the Switch and playing some Mario game. I did see Mario Golf coming back. Big fan of Mario Golf.
Love Mario Golf. I'll probably end up grabbing that. I think it just came out like this month.
Movies wise, I mean, stuff that would be related to movies. We got Guardians of the Galaxy and Avatar trailers, and frankly, they both don't look very good.
We were supposed to get this Avatar game probably 6 years ago.
Yeah, very bland. It doesn't really do much for me. The Star-Lord game, you play only as Star-Lord, which is fine.
It looks bad,
but it just didn't look terrible. Like it was. It didn't look like it was going to be very like challenging or like good game mechanics. It just kind of looked like you're going to be playing a movie. That's fine. And Joe, I do have War Grooves. War Grooves actually made that game specifically because Advanced Wars hasn't come out in 10 years. They're like, we need a game like this. So we just basically copied the IP more or less and made a simple game to play it. They changed a couple of things, like your leader is in the battlefield with you, and if you kill the leader, you automatically lose, which is kind of a cool concept. And they each have their own, like, I guess, special abilities. I still think I am more partial to Advanced Wars, though, just because it's more linear and there's just a lot more different units to create different strategies and stuff like that.
Anyways, Knockout City, am I right?
You got to play it. You'll play it and you'll be like, okay, this anime is actually pretty fun. Sure, even for a new boomer like yourself.
I'm going to skip through some of these trailers because some of them look bad, except for this Nic Cage one called, actually, The Pig, I think. That's what I have written down. It sounds really stupid when you say it out loud. Nic Cage, I think, watched John Wick and was basically like, let's do this, but make it look like, yeah, you can copy my homework, but make sure it's not the same. Somebody steals Nic Cage's truffle sniffing pig, and he goes on a rampage to find this pig.
Bloody face, sitting at dinner, looked like a homeless person at like a nice restaurant, being all psycho and cryptic. Yup.
Is that how the majority of truffle is found, with a pig?
By pigs, yeah. Pigs or dogs, but pigs are actually better at sniffing for truffles. So.
Wow. That's
actually funny. I was always wondering why in Civ they had a little pig logo and it said truffles on there. I was like, wonder what the hell that. I was like, what the fuck? Never got that. I thought truffles were mushrooms.
They kind of are, aren't they? They are just fungus that grows underground that are very flavorful for some reason.
Extremely flavorful. They're like super expensive too.
Yeah, well, they're hard to find. You have to train a pig to sniff them out. So
exactly.
Anyway,
yeah, no,
Nic Cage, man, is there a script that he won't do? He won't turn down a fucking thing. I love it.
No, I think the weirder the movie, the more inclined he feels to do it.
That may be true. He has a cult following for doing shit like this and Mandy and Willy's Wonderland, and yeah, he knows what he's good at.
Yeah, and if there's these people that are making these movies, writing these movies, are just like, who'd be perfect for this movie? Nic Cage. He's a psycho, and he would be all about murdering an entire society to find his truffle pig. Yep.
There you go. I'm going to skip over the Oliver Twist remake because that does not seem like something that we'd be interested in.
That's really an Oliver Twist? That was an Oliver Twist?
It's in an updated version, like if Oliver Twist was today.
And new Parkour.
Yes, it's Parkour, Dickensian modern day bullshit. So yeah, I'm guessing we're not going to see that movie.
Well, twist. I thought it was just because there would be a twist in the movie, not because Oliver's the boy.
It's because he's twisting in his sick parkour moves.
Yeah. I thought there was like some sort of heist involved. I don't know. It didn't look too bad.
He's just doing a gainer on anything he touches. He's just jumping off buildings. Instant gainer. Love it.
Wow. You guys actually liked this. Okay.
Yeah. Why are we skipping over this?
Yeah, you dumb fucking boomer.
Wow. That was impressive. What about The Shrink Next Door, starring Will Ferrell, Kathryn Hahn, and Paul Rudd? I think that cast alone is enough to get me to watch it, even if it does look pretty weird.
So is this what's going to happen with Will Ferrell, where now he's getting older? So I feel like naturally he's going to move into like more serious roles, like try to move into drama, but he's always going to have that comedic factor where you just don't know if he's going for a comedic role or if he's really trying to get serious. And I was confused watching this in the beginning, that omnibus, the music that was playing, I was like, is this going to be a drama? And then throughout the trailer, I'm like, well, maybe it's a comedy too, but it might be a dramedy. I think it's a little bit of both.
I think Will Ferrell's firmly in the dramedy stage of his career right now. Mm-hmm. He does a lot of these things with his friends, like work friends or whatever you want. Like Kathryn Hahn's been in how many Will Ferrell movies?
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's doing weird stuff. Like, remember he recently did that movie that was all in Spanish, and he was having a garage sale, and he did the one that was all in like Swedish or whatever, the force majeure. I don't know what's up with him. Like, just he stopped working with his writing partner that was really funny and did like Step Brothers and shit like that. So maybe that's it. He just wants to try and do different shit. But this is weird, but I'll watch it.
I will too.
Great.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm frozen. Hold on.
Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd.
Am I lagging, or is Brick lagging?
No, you're lagging.
Okay, let me reset my. I might have to back out for a second because this is kind of annoying.
All right. Brick, I sent you guys a trailer earlier this morning, and let me just fly through the cast list on this. Fred Armisen, Glenn Howerton, your boy, Whitney Cummings, Charlie Day, Nick Kroll, our friend Lamorne Morris, Pauly Shore, Colin Hanks, Olivia Wilde. This is a movie about the end of the world. A meteor is coming in the next 24 hours. Everybody's going to die, and this focuses on actually an actress who I first saw in New Girl with Lamorne Morris, and funny, they're like ex-love interests in this. But yeah, she has this metaphysical apparition of her younger self, and she's basically crazy and trying to reconcile that the end of the world is coming.
And there's a giant comet.
Go ahead.
There's a giant comet coming while we're actually like in the background. It's like the doom is inevitable at this point. And I feel like they're going to have all these different actors have cameos because she's trying to like make amends before everything kind of ends, how it ends, which is the title of the movie.
The only thing I don't agree with is that no one is really rioting or anything. And that is absolutely, it would be The Purge.
You think? Well, this is, so maybe that's in the inner, maybe that's in like the city portions of it. This is kind of, she's not really, she's like in the suburbs. It looks like, doesn't really look like she's kind of in the depths of the cities or anything like that. But maybe maybe that kind of does come. We don't know.
Quick trailer. I mean, if we all know for certain that the world is ending tomorrow, are we going around and making amends with the people that we hurt, or are we partying our dicks off?
Partying our dicks off, obviously.
Yeah. Probably partying our dicks off.
That's all right. This looks kind of funny though. It's an interesting take on it. It's it feels a little fart sniffy. I guess we'll have to see how the writing goes, but they brought in a lot of people from Always Sunny, which gives me a little bit of hope. And you know, it's a lot of really funny people in there, and Pauly Shore.
Yeah, no, fantastic cast. This was probably the trailer I was looking forward to most that you posted.
Absolutely. Okay. I got a few bits of news here. Mark, you're the live action Disney adaptation defender on this show. I'm assuming that you're going to do a weekly Patreon recap for this Beauty and the Beast prequel.
How did I ever get that title?
Because you're the one who hates them the least.
Yeah, it's a known factoid.
I guess I didn't.
Rick is the dodgeball guy. You're the Disney live action remake guy.
I actually shat on Lion King when that came out.
Everybody did though.
I didn't mind Aladdin as much as other people did.
There you go. So this has Josh Gad and Luke Evans. Are you going to watch it? This is what LaFoe and Gaston.
I'm sorry, didn't we already have a Beauty and the Beast live action?
We did.
This one's going to be
a prequel.
Ooh, okay. I know. Okay. I do know what you're talking about. I saw something for this. Yeah, I guess I'll check it out. Josh Gad is actually kind of funny. Josh
Gad's great. He did that HBO series that was kind of funny with the guy from House, where they were a spaceship that was stuck in space.
Fifth Avenue 5 or
something like that. It was. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
I don't back, but it's funny.
Do they have all of the same? Like, okay, Luke Evans is playing Gaston still. Everyone's going to be the same from what they. Anyone that showed up in the original Beauty and the Beast live action will most likely, I'm assuming, show up in this one.
Well, I mean, I don't know that Belle is going to be involved. Like, I haven't heard anything about Emma Watson.
I meant they're not going to change. They're not changing actors or anything, right?
Right. It's similar to what they're doing with the Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff, where they have the money and the clout to get the big name actors, which is cool. I just don't care about these characters. Aren't these kind of throwaway characters, really? Especially LaFoe, whatever it is, Josh Gad.
Well, thinking about the live action movie, I don't know if think the original probably not, but they had some of the best parts in that movie, in my opinion. Like the beginning when they're in town and they like their musical skits that they were doing and dancing. I enjoyed those the most, I think, of that whole movie.
Fair enough. I mean, you're the expert, so I have to defer.
I am the expert, so I guess I am.
Check out.
Sorry for doubting you with that.
Look at the success that they had with Cruella. The villain getting her origin story told, and then now they're doing Gaston.
Gaston.
They're just get whatever.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Timothy Oliphant.
Chalifant.
Have any of you guys seen Cruella yet?
Right.
I thought.
Was it good?
Mm-hmm. Good. It was. Yeah. I loved the way Emma Stone played Cruella, little schizo psycho. They made some big scenes. I don't even like whatever this fashion world is, but it was kind of cool to see how she makes her big entrances and how she's kind of taking over. It was cool.
Is she better in her role than Joaquin Phoenix was in the Joker role?
No, I liked the Joker better.
I keep seeing these comparisons online. Are you guys not seeing these where people are like, this is the real Joker and it's Emma Stone as Cruella? Is that a joke?
The trailer definitely made it look that way, but I don't think that was the actual plot of the movie.
I guess it's similar character development where they're like this timid little, social outcast, and then they kind of find their footing in doing the outlandish kind of over the top personas that they have. So I see the parallels, but I don't see it directly within the movie itself. So
okay.
Thanks, Murray.
You remember when we watched that movie Greenland with Gerry Butler?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
We were like, yeah, this is okay, I guess. Get ready for more mediocrity. We're getting a sequel.
Let's go.
Iceland?
I guess. No, it's like Greenland, the new world or some dumb shit like that. I guess it's post-apocalyptic now. You can't come out of the bunker for like a couple decades. If a meteor actually hits, like a meteor shower rains on the earth, I'm pretty sure it brings on a nuclear winter. But they did kind of show it at the end of that where they were like, everything's kind of okay.
I don't remember because that movie was so forgettable.
Is there going to be a nuclear winter, you think? You think it's going to be Whiteland, where it's just snow everywhere, and Gerry Butler just gets in deep to his addiction that we didn't know happened in the first movie, where he's just doing a bunch of cocaine?
And wasn't he like cheating on his wife?
Yeah. I mean, it could be attributed to that. Like maybe that's part of this whole franchise is we're going to see that he has this addiction and it causes all these problems within their small community in the apocalypse world. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just making
shit up.
Right now.
I mean, it couldn't be any worse than whatever they're going to do.
I don't know.
The movie was so mediocre. All right. A Big Mouth spinoff is going to follow the hormone monsters. You guys never really got into Big Mouth, did you?
No. Darian did. Darian used to talk about it all the time.
I really liked it. It's cringy and awkward. And like, I wouldn't recommend watching it with your parents or maybe even
yourself.
Maybe just watch it by yourself. I remember a couple times like watching it on the train because I would have downloaded episodes and I would have to like watch it in the corner because they were just showing some weird shit like some furry balls walking around. It's just the weirdest shit imaginable. So also don't watch it. Watch it at home in shame like you should. But
yeah, watching it on the train is super aggressive.
This is actually hold on. This is
I
actually
didn't even
funny.
have headphones in.
I feel
I would never just blare volume out of my phone without headphones. That's such a move.
Is there anyone worse?
Dumb question.
Is there anyone worse than people that like FaceTime without headphones on or like are talking with somebody that are like, bah, 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 bah. It's like, dude, super inconsiderate. Just put headphones on and you're fine.
Yeah.
This is a good question though. I feel like we've all been there where we, for some reason, decide to watch a show or a movie that we know is not appropriate for the setting that we're in, but we still do it. Like I started watching Ghost in the Shell in the middle seat in an airplane, and there's just like alien, there's just AI tits everywhere, and I'm just like, sorry.
It's like when I watched Bone Tomahawk on a flight. I was going out to San Diego, and I had already downloaded it. And I couldn't download anything else because I was already in the air. I was like, this is incredibly violent, and then they split that guy in half while he's upside down, like taint first. I was like, fuck, I should not have watched this movie on a flight.
Yeah, I shouldn't have watched the Human Centipede on a graduation. It was awkward.
You would have told me. Somebody should have let me know. I don't know. Anyways, the Big Mouth spinoff. This is going to follow the hormone monsters in their own universe, and it's going to have a lot of the same cast. You like Maya Rudolph, Nick Kroll, Jason Mantzoukas, like the actual funny people. So I guess I'm excited, and it's Netflix, so I can watch it and not really pay attention.
Okay, so time out. What was your dumb question, Mark?
Dumb question is, what inappropriate show or movie have you watched in a public setting? Because I feel like everyone's been there where they're like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be watching this, but I'm still going to do it.
Yeah, this one's a whoopsie. Yeah, just like force of habit. So yeah, good question. Let's put it out there, see what people are watching inappropriately.
Yeah, I think that'd be good Instagram content. You could make a news story that is Big Mouth and Big Mouth spinoff, and then turn it into, did you watch this weird ass show in public? You shouldn't.
Like Smithers, yeah.
Look, I'm not a perfect person.
I'm not a perfect person.
Best.
We the best.
Worst.
The worst. She's the worst person in the world. Huge skank, terrible. But thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I knew you would get my emo music reference. What is that? Whhhhaats?
I'm not a perfect bird. Yeah, I think it's Whhhhaats or it's Incubus.
It is
no, it's
Whhhhaats.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, let's do our best man alive. Brick, what do you got for me?
Best elephant alive. Let me see if I can share this screen. Share the screen. Yep, allow that.
I don't think that you can.
Open system preferences. That's probably somebody else should probably go first, I imagine.
I'll go first. All right, so I'm going to give mine to farmer in India. His name is Sankalp Singh Parihar, and he is farming some of my favorite fruit. Actually, it's probably my top fruit, and it's a mango, but it's not just any mango. It's a super, super rare and exclusive mango from Japan. And the way he got to this point is he was on a train looking for this hybrid of a coconut seed. And some guy, I guess, had this mango on the train and was like, hey, you want this for $33 in their currency? It was basically $33 USD. Anyways, he took it not realizing that this mango was really rare. It was the first edition Charizard mango, basically. And I guess these mangoes are sold in Japan for upwards of like $1,000 per box, which is like 6 mangoes. So a hefty price tag. But now what I'm thinking is because of this guy in India, and it sounds like he has just been farming the shit out of this mango that he got a hold of. Because of that, obviously the supply is going to go up. Demand is going to go up as well because you're going to have people like me trying to figure out how to get a hold of one of these things. But I don't think the price is going to be as high as it's been in the past in Japan. So I'm pumped. Thank you to this guy in India.
He's going to flood and crash the exotic mango market.
Exactly.
Are you
a mango guy?
Where you can get one of these?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep looking into this in the upcoming weeks and see if there's any way I can get a hold. But I feel like you can't because I've been to like Indonesia and you try all these fruits you had no idea existed, and you're like, what the fuck is this thing? And you eat it, and you're like, well, there's no way I can bring one of these back. You're like, I would guess it would have to stay in certain countries. Like I can't just get one of these mangoes in the US. I'll get like arrested. It
would be some weird like parasite that you bring back that kills off the entire population of squirrels.
Murder hornets are back too. They just found the first one in 2021. It's kind of fucked up.
I mean, as long as there's only one of them, I think we'll be okay. But
and it was dead when they found it. But little do we know it, like it was a mama murder hornet and it hatched like thousands and thousands of babies into the US. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I have a meta question for you guys. What do you look at while we're recording this? Are you looking at yourself, or are you like looking at what you're going to be talking about next? Are you what's on your screen?
Usually just whoever's talking, and then if I'm looking up something, I'll look up whatever I'm going to be talking about next. Usually,
I'm staring at myself more than usual today because I burned off part of my eyebrows and my hair, and I looked like one of the wet bandits from Home Alone yesterday because I almost blew up my smoker.
Was there gas going into it and then you just hit ignite? It was just like
so it was cooking for a while and it went out. And so I go out and I open the doors and I wait maybe 10 seconds, and apparently 10 seconds was not long enough.
Yeah.
It was like a fireball.
Oh my
I had
God.
no hair on my left arm or my left leg, and I burned off some of my like hair up here and some of my eyebrow. My eyelashes are totally torched. I smelled like burnt hair. It was bad.
Jeez.
I need to get a smoker once I get a house, I guess.
That's what you take away from this conversation. I need to blow myself up.
Well,
no, the only thing
he's getting a Traeger. He's not getting the shitty ass generic version that you got.
Oh, fuck off.
Obviously.
That's why this
is a prick.
No, the only thing that when you said smoker, the first thing that came to my mind was shout out my boy McCourt. He has a smoker himself, and he made these smoked pretzels with like cinnamon sugar on it, and they looked literally like magnifico. It looked so tasty. So that's the first thing I'm going to try is get some smoked pretzels.
Definitely smoke meat first because meat is good. But yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a best live. It's an intern. We need an intern for the Chumpcast. Somebody who we can just berate, blame shit on. Mark, anytime you're late, you can just blame it on the intern. Mm-hmm. Totally unpaid, no experience. Maybe I'll write you a review afterwards.
He or she pays us.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You'll just start covering some expenses for the Chumpcast. Anyways, a lot of people got a test email yesterday in their inbox from an intern at HBO Max. I'll just read this directly, their tweet. We mistakenly sent out an empty test email to a portion of our HBO Max mailing list this evening. We apologize for the inconvenience, and as the jokes pile in, yes, it was the intern. No, really, and we're helping them through that. First of all, kind of shady that you would just throw the intern under the bus like that. Yeah. This can just be like a nameless, faceless thing. It doesn't have to have someone actually be blamed. But I will say this did turn into something positive, because what you have in the replies are people listing their giant mistakes that they made at their companies and basically just empathizing here. And a few of the examples, famously, the person who set off the doomsday alarm in Hawaii when they had that incoming missile error, like the air raid sirens off. Somebody named,
not the best to happen in Japan, especially after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, well, yeah. A guy named Sam Vanavray. Don't feel bad, intern. When I was once an intern at MIT, I accidentally powered off every device during a laser experiment.
That's amazing.
That's pretty bad. And so it's just a lot of like, yeah, everybody fucks up. It's okay. And it's, I think just like part of it is the humanity of people coming to share their fuck ups.
It's wholesome. Did the guy who took out the internet for an hour last week, did he comment?
Completely unknowingly? Man, I wonder somebody should check on that guy.
Hold on. This is actually funny being from Chicago. Bulls Talk said on this Twitter thread, they said, "Dear intern, for the first 2 months of being admin, we thought this was a rose emoji. It's obviously a tulip emoji. It doesn't even look like a rose." They're like, so for every D rose post, we had a tulip instead.
D tulip.
It gets better.
There you go. All right, Brick, are you prepared to share your best man alive?
I think so. I'm going to try to share screen one more time. And let's see if it works.
If you can do what you did before,
did this work?
There you go.
Cool. So this is the best baby elephant alive. This little guy figured out how to use a water pump at a local school in West Bengal. So just check this guy out.
Elephants are adorable. That is so cute.
Dude, they're so smart and cute and lovable.
They're so ugly and cute. How is something so ugly and so cute at the same time? I don't know. Like they have those gross, thick hairs and shit.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it keeps going back and it keeps going back for more. And just the way he's chomping on that water. Just so freaking cute. Love it. If you just search baby elephant hand pump water, you'll see the video if you're not watching this with us live here. Super cute, super adorable. Well worth the 30 seconds it takes to see it.
Does he have a name? He or she? Does it have a name?
It does not say that it actually has a name. It just says just a general baby elephant. What would you name it, Smithers?
I don't know. Lil Pump?
Yeah, Pumpski. Pumpski the elephant.
I love to like anthropomorphize stuff like this where you give him a human. Like what if his name was just Doug?
Georgie.
Bert.
So he's definitely smarter than my dog is. He's definitely smarter than Moose is. Could Khaleesi figure this out?
No, Khaleesi is like the smartest, dumbest dog I've ever had in my life. She's like really smart in a lot of things, but there's a dog door here at this place that I'm watching. I'm watching my sister's dog. She just will not go through it. She sees other dogs go through it. I have to literally lift up the freaking dog door to kind of teach her to go through it. If I don't lift it up, she won't do it. She's a little princess. Freaking annoying.
She just likes having power over you. You're not the alpha.
She's lording. Yeah, exactly. She's lording her power over me. Absolutely. I respect it.
Guys. I did things a little bit out of order this week. So I think now we will do our recommendations before we get into our review of Luca. And before either of you have a chance to do it, I'm just going to say Rick and Morty returns tomorrow.
Fuck yeah.
On Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, by the way, Mark.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
To you as well.
Thank you. Okay. I will let Mark, what do you recommend? What have you been doing this week besides still playing Warzone?
I didn't hear your recommendations last episode, so I'm assuming this probably has been recommended already, but Sweet Tooth is great on Netflix. Also, I think I recommended this a while ago, but Mare of Easttown is probably one of the best HBO shows I've seen in a long time, like a mini series. Supposedly the guy that wrote it or produced it or whatever was like the main creator of it. He's been signed up for like 4 more HBO shows because it did so well. It was up there with like the final season of Game of Thrones. Even though that season sucked, everyone tuned in for it. But this was like one of the most viewed streamed shows on HBO in a while. And it was really good. So check out Mare of Easttown.
I have not watched it.
So
Sweet Tooth is weird. I only watched the first episode and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get into this or not.
I like it. I think it's pretty good.
Okay. So that's 2 things that I haven't seen. Brick, what do you got?
The 2 shows that I'm currently hot on right now, besides MasterChef, I've just been kind of grinding through all the seasons of that. Hilarious. But Loki, first of all, obviously everyone's watching that. We should do a kind of show on that soon, I would say. But that whole universe, the multiverse that they're explaining and all that different time jumping, loving it, interesting. But Dave is also back last week. There's 2 episodes out. I went back and rewatched the first season, and it is just so freaking original and like deep and like as funny as it is, it's like heartfelt and like actual raw emotion. I feel like you get a lot in there, and there's a lot of different character development, and everything is just so well written and well acted and great score. It's a can't miss show. It's so good. Have you guys seen the first 2 episodes yet or no?
Not for the new season.
I do love Dave. I would quibble with it being original because it's basically just white Atlanta. Okay, well, it's his original story. It's his story. I saw Atlanta, and it was good, but it's about a rapper. That's about all the consistency that there is, I feel. I'm sure there are some other like the rapping in it. They do like some of the heartfelt shit, some of the inner struggle stuff. I guess I've heard other people compare it. So it is original in that it's, Dave Bird's story, but it is kind of Atlanta.
Okay. Well, that's fine. It's still really well done, really well written, and well worth
it. Doesn't mean it can't be good. For
exactly.
Sure. Very excited to see that. Also, the French Grand Prix is tomorrow morning. So you guys can wake up early and watch that F1 race.
This is kind of messed up to say, but do you think there will be somebody that will die? Is this like a super dangerous race or something? No. Like on average, doesn't somebody die like every time?
No.
Okay.
Where the fuck did you hear that?
I thought this was that race. I thought this was one of that race that was like on a cliff and shit.
No.
In France, no. Okay.
Nope. Nope.
Is it just a standard track?
Well, it's not like it's not an oval, if that's what you mean. Like it's a Grand Prix track. It's got 14, 15 corners and shit like that.
Okay. I'm confused then. There was some race in France where you like going through a town and shit, and you like actually go off like on the cliff side, and people like skid out and fucking just.
Was that in the movie you saw, Mark?
Yeah, seriously, it sounds like a bad Mission Impossible movie.
I'm writing a new Fast and Furious movie, guys. All right.
Sorry. Slow and Dead is what it's called.
They joined the Grand Prix.
Yeah, once like every decade, a driver gets in a crash bad enough and dies, but that's really it. I don't know why you think somebody died. If someone died there every time, I'm pretty sure they'd stop doing it.
It would just be like, yeah, that's a very good point. But I don't know. I don't know why I thought this was just a part of the sport where people accepted it. Like, yeah, this is what we do. I might die next year doing this, but it is what it is.
When someone dies. They're like, the McLaren Senna is named after a famous driver that died. It's one of the best ever to do it. And I think the last one to do it was a Formula 2 driver that died like in 2018.
It's so funny. You can just tell the immediate disinterest of Mark after you told him that, yeah, nobody dies. He's just like, well, I'm not going to watch that anymore.
People still catch on fire and shit. Like there's a chance someone could definitely die, Mark. It's
all right.
Definitely true.
Let's stop talking about it. I don't want to be the one to speak it into existence. Let's just drop it, because if something happens,
one of these races and like dump an oil can out on this slick corner.
If something happens, I'm getting a text from you immediately, and you're for sure going to bring it up next week on the episode. Yeah. So let's just pretend like I never said that.
You've already done it. You've literally recorded it.
Yeah, this is already on the internet, man. This will be all over F1 Twitter, which is definitely a thing, by the way, and it's a very weird place. But
idiot thinks all of F1 races someone dies.
Why would they keep doing it?
I don't know. There was this one race in France where like I saw a documentary and it's like, yeah, there's on average like 1.3 people that die per year. It's like, all right, what?
Mark was literally just remembering the end of Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah.
Exactly.
On a serious note, though, did you guys see that the guy was going to try to break the world record for longest motorcycle jump died this past week?
Yeah.
Do we know where was that?
Alex Harville, during a warm-up in Washington State, he was prepping for this world record long jump and he died, I guess, which is fucking
that's a bummer.
Big bummer.
Well,
300 feet jump. 300-foot jump. Actually, no, he was going for 351 feet. Holy shit.
So does that mean the previous record was 350 feet?
Harville, who was married to... Wait, no, I said that wrong. Harville, who was married with 2 young sons, was already the Guinness World Record holder for the dirt category, having jumped 297 feet in 2013. At the Washington event, he was riding a Suzuki 450 as he attempted to better rival Robbie Madison's 2008 world record of 351 feet. So I guess he was going for just over 351 feet, which is a pretty, 50 feet from your previous world record. I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Jeez.
20% further, or I guess less than 50. Whatever. I'm not doing math right now. Shut up. You brought the entire podcast down, Mark.
Yeah. Let me reset here, and I'm just going to do a couple of different headline grabs that I saw on Offbeat Reddit here, and they're both about Jeff Bezos. So one of them was, yes, Jeff Bezos could buy and eat the Mona Lisa if he wanted to. I won't go into that any further.
He could.
He could. That's insane and unnecessary. Why do people have that? But the other thing is, thousands have signed a petition to keep Amazon's Jeff Bezos from returning to Earth. So people are just signing this petition to be like, you know what? You left Earth. Sorry, dude, no access back. So people just hate Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
And,
well, he's
and he could eat.
Elon Musk got the petition going for sure. He's like, I feel like he would do something like that though. He's just a ball.
No, this would be like,
like
the Waltons, like the people who own Walmart are like, get this fucker off planet. Do you think in the future, instead of putting people in prison or to the death penalty, that we could just like launch them into space and leave them there?
That's really expensive, I feel, to do that. But
so basically, the death penalty,
alive in prison for 40 years.
So it's just an alternative look on the death penalty because this person is absolutely going to die getting launched into space.
Yeah,
he's going to total recall his head. Wait, was Total Recall where Arnold Schwarzenegger's like face like melted and shit
on Mars? Yeah.
I
don't know. I
You're
don't know
fucked
how
up, Smithers.
Let's just fucking.
You guys are both
wishing for F1 drivers to die and talking about a guy with two kids who died jumping a motorcycle, you dick.
Well, that was just the news I saw and thought we should mention it because crazy shit.
Thanks for making that super depressing. Anyways, this week we have a Pixar movie to discuss, and it is Luca, currently at
you guys are both $6. You guys talking about death in space, the death penalty in space, F1 drivers getting fucked. Let's transition to the Disney movie Luca.
Yeah,
that's what we were trying to do. Right there.
I had to yell at this dog that was barking. I had to use my alpha voice. So I couldn't. I had to mute myself beforehand. Out of respect.
Yeah, I'm sure that you've just been biding your time until you get to talk about Italy some more. But let's get some stuff out of the way first. Currently at 88 or 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 88% from fans. I thought this was a little bit more on the boring side for a Pixar movie, but perhaps delve into that. So this is set in the Italian Riviera in 1963, and our main character is Luca, who is from a family of sea monsters that apparently they turn into like mermaid-looking things when they're in water, but when they're dry, they turn into humans, which is an interesting take. That's somewhat original, if not completely. But he one day comes out on land and meets a friend who apparently does this all the time. But Luca's parents, played by Maya Rudolph and Jim Gaffigan. I heard Jim Gaffigan's voice and I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I thought that was Maya Rudolph too, yeah.
I kind of liked them, but also she was a huge bummer. Like she found out at one point that Luca was going to the surface and she was going to send him away to what is the fish equivalent of a boarding school, which is a little fucked up. But yeah, Luca is friends with this other surface dweller and they meet a real life human who is not a sea monster and they train for a race together. And that's the basic plot of this movie. So I will kick this to Brick. Just get it all out. Just go ahead and word vomit.
Italy, yes. No, so I won't go into that. I won't be that guy. I think this movie there's a reason that they didn't charge $30 for this movie and they charged $30 for like Raya, the Last Dragon. I just think that they had to, it doesn't quite make it to the point where it was entertaining enough where it's that level of like Raya the Last Dragon, but it's like a good, you're paying $8 for a Disney subscription. We need to have some content out there. The colors were great. I loved the setting. Obviously, it's in Italy. They reminded me of the little town of Rapallo that I was in when I visited. But the characters were cool, I guess. They were fine. They didn't really jump out the screen at me too much. I mean, it was interesting. It kept my attention the whole time for sure. I just thought the colors were great. I think the cast was good too. It was good voice acting overall. Again, yeah, interesting concept, but overall it wasn't like must see Disney movie. You know, doesn't need to be that premiere access type of movie. It's just a good sit down and watch with if you have kids or something. It'd be a good fun experience for like, it's a little friendship story more or less.
Yeah. And like we've come to expect a lot from Pixar and this just, it doesn't feel like it lives up to that pedigree. But let's talk about the actors. We had Jacob Tremblay who played Luca. So we've seen him in a ton of stuff. He was a little kid in Doctor Sleep. He was in Good Boys. I think he got famous for doing Room. That was like his big breaking onto the scene. We also had Jack Dylan Glazer, who plays the friend. I can't even remember Luca's friend's name.
Alberto,
thank you. Yes, and he's the kid from Shazam. So
right. Oh yeah.
And It.
Oh yeah, he was in that too. I forgot. The second one of those was such a letdown that I completely forgot about those.
Yeah.
Together.
Uncle Ugo was played by Sacha Baron Cohen. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he was the best character, and you left that out. I thought you were going to for sure mention that, Smithers.
Well, he was only in it for like 45 seconds.
Do you know he improvised like the majority of his lines? And him being an anglerfish, I thought that was just genius. Like those creepy deep water fishes, and he's just like this big, like fat little anglerfish. That was funny.
Yeah, can you punch my heart? Yeah, no, that was great. And did you guys stay for the after credits scene?
The post credits, yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Shit.
That was all improvised. They mentioned that in an article. Like you should actually go back and just watch it. It's like a minute long. It's kind of funny.
I will, especially if it's Sacha Baron Cohen's character. What did you guys think about the parents and their interaction? Because I thought that was a little ham-fisted.
I agree with that, and I think the only entertaining part that I had with the parents was when she actually was playing soccer with those kids, and she found the actual creative way to figure out which one was Luca. So I thought that was pretty entertaining. I wish I had more Jim Gaffigan and Maya Rudolph because they were good, but they were playing too much of the worrying parent, I felt, and it just didn't really land as much as people wanted it to, I feel.
So my biggest problem with this whole movie was actually the writing. I don't think they did a good job with the writing. I don't really think it was thought through. I know you can't really overanalyze these sorts of movies, but one of my biggest problems was with the parents. You know, they go into town, try to revert from spoiling it, but they're doing things to ultimately out their son, you know, as a sea monster. Like, why would they be doing that out in public when you know he's at danger if people see him as a sea monster? I mean, this whole town revolves around killing these sea monsters. So that was kind of weird. And the whole beginning, I wanted to learn more about their family, why this change happens. They kind of just said, this is how it is, and we're supposed to accept it. Like, oh, he suddenly looks like a normal boy when he's out of water. Can you give me any background as to why that is? And they don't, which kind of bothered me. And then also like his family living in the sea and seeing them, like, what do they do? Nothing was ever shown us. Like, do they do anything for like ocean work? Like, you just get a small look into their house. You don't really know.
Farmers.
Yeah, they're like what do you call it? Shepherds.
Okay. Speaking of shepherd, why would Luca tell the big fisherman guy how to catch all those goddamn fish when he's like, it seems like he's being like a fatherly figure to these little like shepherding those fish in the beginning of the movie? Remember that? And he's like, yo, this is how you catch all these motherfuckers and kill them.
Well, those they were different kinds of fish, but what I was trying to figure out while I was watching it is like, if you're treating them as sheep produce wool. What do these fish produce?
Yeah.
Like, why would you be hurting them if they don't give you something?
Maybe they're growing them to feed them. Then they kill them and eat them, probably.
So like cattle instead of sheep.
Yeah, probably more cattle, because they did just he did just kind of walk them over to the seaweed area where they would feed. They were all just feeding. And I don't think Disney Pixar needed to go into how they kill the fish and stuff like that. It was more like a farmer knows how to capture, like, not capture, but they know how to like raise the animals and kill them and use them for their food, because it was just a food source. I didn't really take a problem, and like, he's not like some sort of like vegetarian where he's not eating like fish. They ate the fish that the older dad made, and they loved it. So it's not like
it didn't take me out of the movie or anything. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Sharks eat
overall
fish.
I just wish they would have given us more of a look into the underwater world than we did. Like, we were just supposed to accept like, this is what's happening and move on. But it's an hour and a half, so
it's exactly.
I get that too.
It's an hour 40-minute movie, and you can't. It's supposed to be a kids movie, so you can't really make it much longer than that. And now they can just do the live action prequel because you love live action Disney prequels.
Yay!
We have to talk about the animation because this is the most gorgeously animated thing I've ever seen, and it's not particularly close.
I like the setting being in Italy, and it's actually based off of Hayao Miyazaki's Porco Rosso, whatever. The guy that directed this or wrote it or whatever had inspirations from that, which is in an Italian town. Completely different story, but it's funny because this town is called Porto Russo. So it's just, they just changed a little bit. So a little callback. I thought it was cool to the Miyazaki films.
Very cool. And just the sheer brightness of the colors, you know, and the fact that Disney will allow you to broadcast this in Dolby HDR, it's stunning, gorgeous. So if you have the ability, I would recommend finding the biggest screen you can and watching it on that. It's beautiful. And that really does make up for the lack of story, I think. Disney seems like they were trying to shove some romance in there between Luca and his friend Alberto. Either do it or don't allude to it.
Yeah,
just beating around the bush, and it's because no matter what you do, you're going to piss somebody off. But I feel like this just pisses everybody off.
Yeah, I was getting those vibes towards especially in the beginning, and then they kind of tampered off at the end. But yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
Also, I didn't really care about the town bully. I feel like that could have been leaned into more heavily. I mean, we've been talking about Gaston so much. Gaston is a good town bully. This guy was just a dork with a bad mustache.
He was not a good villain.
Yeah,
and I understand you're working against two forces because you're working against the entire village finding out that you're a sea monster and also this guy. So you don't necessarily need to have as strong of a villain, but it's still they could have done better with that.
Yeah,
I agree. Make him meaner, but at the same time, I guess you don't really want to
make him more of a threat at least. I don't know.
Sure.
I guess at the end he had a harpoon gun, but it still never really felt like anybody was in any actual danger.
Yeah, the stakes weren't that high in this movie. It's not like the whole sea town was going to get exposed, like the whole underwater, life was going to be captured or exposed and killed or whatever like that. Like, I just didn't feel like the stakes were that big. Like, the only thing that was going to happen is these two sea monsters, these kids were going to get exposed in the town. And that was it.
Whatever. How did they always have clothes on when they came out of the water?
I don't know. Did they have clothes on underwater though? Did they have like a little thing? I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. We probably
shouldn't
this movie argue about the physics of a Pixar movie. But anything else to say before we rate this and get out of here?
I'm happy that it didn't cost $30, and I'm happy that it was an hour and a half. I had a good time. I didn't get done watching this movie and think, wow, that was that Pixar movie sucked. This isn't one of the better Pixar movies by any means, but you can still have a good time watching it. And I think, to your point, Smithers, visually, it's one of the better Pixar movies that I have seen recently. Also,
that's the Italy help. Making a little Italian island, they have all those colors, and they have like the clearest water, and then they have the lush mountains in the background with all the different colored houses. It's just like hard to not get the colors right if you're going to do an Italy city. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was is your see it, save it, or skip it?
Save it.
Did you guys watch this with the kiddos? Nolan and Maximo?
No, Nolan won't sit for a movie.
Yeah,
not yet.
They won't. Both of them not yet.
No,
what age?
2 minutes sometimes when you wear them out.
Right. So what age do kids start watching movies? Like 3 or 4?
I'd say like 2.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious. I don't know anything about children, so cool. Word. I would say save it too. It's just, you don't need to go out and see this movie right away. If you have a really young kid, I think they'd probably really enjoy it if you watched it with them. If you watched it with them, I'm sure they would also, like, you wouldn't be bored either. Like, this is a movie that it keeps your attention the whole time because it is quick paced and it's just like cuts right to the point, and the visuals just keep you engaged the whole time. Save it.
It's hard to keep these recommendations based on like how you felt about the movie, because I feel like we're getting to a place where a lot of things are coming out on streaming and we're thinking of like accessibility, like, oh, I'll watch it because it's right there for me and it's free. Because of that case, I would say see it if you have Disney Plus. Like, this is a good movie, like, go see it. But if I'm thinking from a movie recommendation standpoint, like overall how I felt about this Pixar movie in comparison to other ones that have been released, I have to say save it.
Okay.
Good breakdown.
Yeah, that's fair. And like, I don't know that if you had to pay to go to a movie theater that this would be worth it. But since it is on streaming, I think for the spectacle of it alone, the visual aspect of it alone, it's a see it for me. The story wasn't bad enough that it bothered me or anything. It had some good laughs in it. I liked the one-armed dad guy. He was funny and somewhat gentle at the same time, even though he's this giant scary guy.
What about the cat with the same mustache? That was great. It's probably my favorite character.
Cat Machiavelli.
Machiavelli is a great name for a cat. I said that out loud to Ashley when we were watching it.
Oh, I want that cat.
So yeah, so it's a see it from me.
So Mark, what is yours now that you have
Save it? No, I'm gonna stick with save it because I want to stay true to like what I thought about the movie, not just it being ease of access on Disney Plus for free.
I'm just not going to put that much thought into it.
We've actually been trending like this. I feel like Brick and I are kind of on the same page recently in the last couple of weeks.
Well, I'm crediting Brick with learning more about movies just by remembering names. So maybe he's like slowly moving up the rungs.
Yeah, I'm evolving here. Look at these compliments flooding in from you boys. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go back and look and see, because I know there was one movie where somebody said skip it, somebody said save it, somebody said see it. I gotta go look back and see what movie that was.
All right, let's wrap this up. I need to go draw some eyebrows on myself. So thanks for tuning in.
Don't get angry.
250. So congrats to us, I guess. We'll get back together in person soon. It's just hard to plan things now that we got kids and shit. But you can find us on all media platforms at the Chumpcast. Call us with your dumb stories about stuff that you shouldn't have been watching in public, but you were watching in public.
And refrain from porn. Don't be that guy, even if it's a joke. I already made the joke, so I beat you to it.
When you're on the train, wear your fucking headphones. 847-920-6107. Mark, comic book reviews are back on YouTube. D&D this Tuesday night around 7:30 p.m. on Twitch. And until next time.
Jumps out, motherfucker.
Ciao, bella.
Peace.
Mark, did you ever get that ass cyst removed? It was like a bulbous ass cyst.
I didn't get it removed, but I popped it. I popped it myself. I probably shouldn't. I think it's infected. I just ran out of Neosporin. I need to run to Walgreens. But yeah, it's
like a boil, really.
It's slowly dwindling.
Rampant gangrene is from the